The wind howls through the empty streets, carrying with it an unsettling chill. The night seems to press in, suffocating the air around you, as if the darkness itself has a life of its own. Beneath this shadow, something sinister has occurred. A life has been stolen, and the whispers of the town's forgotten secrets have been stirred from their graves. A murder so baffling, so twisted, that even the most hardened detectives found themselves lost in its web of deceit. In a quiet, forgotten corner of the city, in a house where the walls have absorbed the silence of decades, a body was found, frozen in time, but not in peace. No one knew why she was there or who had done it. All the evidence pointed in different directions, none more than the grotesque symbol that had been etched into the floor beside her. It was as if the murderer wanted her death to be remembered, not just for the horror it caused, but for the question it posed. Who would kill, and why? Welcome to Midnight Mysteries. Tonight, we delve into the twisted and chilling story of a woman's murder that no one could explain, and a town's dark, unsettling secrets that may hold the answers. Stay close and keep the lights on. Story. It all began in the small town of Evershade, a place that seemed stuck in time. Its streets were lined with crumbling brick buildings, ivy-covered lampposts, and fog that hung low like an unseen presence. Evershade had long been forgotten by the world outside, and perhaps that was how its secrets had survived. Detective Eleanor Mace had seen it all. Crimes that chilled the soul, minds twisted by greed and hatred, and bodies left to rot in dark corners. But this case was different. It wasn't just a murder. It was a riddle wrapped in a curse. The body had been discovered late on a cold November night. It was found in an old, abandoned mansion at the edge of the town, known only as the Whistler House. The mansion had stood empty for decades, its once grand walls now sagging, its windows broken, and its doors long sealed shut. The Whistler House had been a place of mystery for years, a building that local children dared each other to explore, only to run away in fear when they heard strange sounds echoing from within. But no one had dared to enter for years, until that night. The body of Margaret Hale, a well-known librarian in town, was found sprawled on the floor of the parlor room, her face pale and lifeless. Her eyes were wide open, as if caught in the act of seeing something she shouldn't. The position of her body was unnatural, as if she had been thrown there in haste. Her arms and legs were twisted at odd angles, like a puppet with its strings pulled by an invisible hand. But the most disturbing part wasn't her body. It was the symbol. Etched into the dusty floorboards beside her was a strange, intricate symbol. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. A series of loops and lines that seemed to make no sense. Yet there was something hauntingly familiar about them. A spiral, a crescent, and something that looked like a jagged eye, as if a force far older than anyone could understand had left its mark. When Eleanor arrived at the scene, the first thing she noticed was the air. It felt wrong, as though the house had been holding its breath for years, waiting for something or someone. Margaret Hale, Eleanor muttered, her voice barely above a whisper. She had known the librarian well enough to know she wasn't the type to wander into a place like this, let alone end up dead inside it. The local authorities had already done their preliminary search, but they hadn't found much. No signs of forced entry, no signs of struggle. Nothing to explain why Margaret had been here, or why she had been killed. No, It was as if she had been drawn here for a reason, but that reason was buried deep, hidden beneath layers of lies and forgotten truths. Eleanor's gut told her something dark had been awakened, something that had been waiting in the shadows for a long time. As the investigation into Margaret Hale's murder continued, Detective Eleanor Mace found herself facing an eerie silence from the townsfolk. Few had ventured into the Whistler house, and those who had were either too frightened or too old to offer any help. But Eleanor had an unsettling feeling that someone knew something. She just had to uncover it. A breakthrough came when Eleanor discovered that Margaret had been researching the history of the Whistler house for months. Margaret's obsession with the mansion was strange, but it led Eleanor to a chilling local legend of a cult known as the Keepers of the Crescent Eye, said to have practiced secret rituals long before the town's founding. The cult had vanished mysteriously, leaving only rumors of strange disappearances and dark rites. The most terrifying part of the legend was that anyone who became too curious about their secrets vanished, never to be seen again. Eleanor realized that the symbol found next to Margaret's body, the crescent moon and jagged eye, was tied to the cult. What had Margaret discovered that made her a target? The investigation led Eleanor to a hidden book in the town's library. The book, filled with cryptic writings, spoke of a ritual that could bring someone back from the dead, but at a steep cost. Eleanor quickly pieced together that Margaret had been researching the ritual, likely trying to understand its dark origins, and had paid the ultimate price for her curiosity. The deeper Eleanor dug, the darker the shadows seemed to grow. Every lead felt like it was leading her into more questions. But then one night, Eleanor received an anonymous letter. The truth is buried where the moon casts no light. The eye is watching. The letter confirmed that the next step of her investigation would take her back to the Whistler house. She returned to the mansion and found a hidden door in the basement. Behind it, Eleanor uncovered a final clue, an altar bathed in moonlight, with another body lying on it. But this body wasn't Margaret Hale's. It was the town's missing historian, Thomas Green, who had vanished years ago under mysterious circumstances. His body, like Margaret's, bore the symbol of the crescent eye. The truth was now undeniable. The cult had never disappeared. They had simply gone underground, waiting for someone to uncover their secrets. Margaret had dug too deep, and now she, like others before her, had become a victim of the cult's wrath. Eleanor knew that there was no escaping the dark truth now. Outro script. As the moonlight fades and the shadows deepen, the Whistler house keeps its secrets locked away, as though the very walls are determined to bury its dark past. But there's something else, a lingering presence, something that watches from the corners of our world, waiting for those who dare to uncover the truth. Eleanor Mace's investigation revealed that some mysteries are best left unsolved, for those who pursue them pay a heavy price. The cult, the symbols, the whispers in the dark, are they truly gone? Or do they still wait, watching for the next curious soul? What do you think happened in Evershade? What was the true purpose of the Keepers of the Crescent Eye? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected for more twisted and chilling stories. Until next time, stay in the light. But always keep one eye on the shadows.